Hi everybody, this video is about TOEFL's reading section. Just to let you know, I had a 113 in my TOEFL in my first attempt and had a 30 out of 30 in the reading section. And I'm gonna let you know some of the things that I utilize in my test and that has been helpful for me. I've been trying to share these techniques with some of the students who have reached out to me, but I wanted to make an in-person video so more people can utilize it. So when I talk to students, usually I try to convey this, that English, the TOEFL is not just an English test, it is also a technique sensitive test. So they check your technique, they check your time management, and they even test your stress levels. Can you manage stress within those time limits? And now coming specifically to reading section, it usually have 3 to 4 comprehensions, and even in those 3 to 4 comprehensions, each of them have 10 questions. And when I talk to most of the candidates, why do they have problem in reading section, they say that it's usually time, and then when a couple of questions start to go wrong, everything goes wrong, and that's their problem. So I've suggested them 3 things, and I'm going to suggest you to try to incorporate that in your practice and see how it works out. And you can let me know in the comment section and tell me how much of this is helpful to you and did it help you to improve. First of all, I call this technique like the ideal time technique, and then you go retrospectively. First of all, do not clock yourself. Like, do the reading section, like do all 4 of those comprehension, but do not clock yourself. And see, you gotta check with unlimited time, can you get like 100 out of 100, or can you get 99 out of 100, or can you get 98 out of 100? If even without the time limit, you can't answer all of them, and like at least you should be coming closer to 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, at least 9 out of 10. And if you're still not able to do that, then you have to sit down and read more and practice more without time. And when you reach that point that you can get 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 within that, within a time limit, then clock yourself. And I'm just giving you an example. The candidate I was talking to said that he can get 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 in the reading section if he is given 30 minutes. Well, good enough. Then what you do is then you go retrospective. You start to decrease that time limit. If you're getting 10 out of 10 in 30 minutes, try to go 28 minutes and see how good you can do. If you're able to do that, go 25 minutes. Try doing the whole 4 passages in 25 minutes and see how much do you score. And then you can go to 20, and then you can go to 18. And that's pretty much where you want to be. Like, be in that 18-minute spot and try to do those comprehensions of reading section within 18 minutes of time. That's one of the best things you could do. So again, I repeat, find your ideal time and reverse the clock and slowly try to go back. That's a really helpful way, and that will let you know whether it's time management or you don't know reading at all. One other thing that usually a lot of video channels like Noteful and other books tell you is read the first line of every paragraph and the last one. Don't try reading all the paragraphs. Read the first and the last and just move on and go to the questions. So that's the first thing you do, the time management. The second technique I say is know your friends and foes. So when you're doing those 10 questions, figure out which questions are the easiest for you, which questions you can do right away, and which ones are the usual problematic questions. They are your foes. These questions are the ones which create problem for you, and you usually have problem. And what happens is when you get to a question which is problematic and you get wrong, all of a sudden when you get one question wrong, you become much more negative and you go into a loop of negativity and thinking, oh God, I'm gonna fail my test, I'm gonna screw up everything, and I'm gonna lose everything. which is a very bad and negative kind of mindset during an examination. So what you want to do, you're going through the questions, and whatever you can done right within a couple of seconds, just do that and move on. If something is not making any sense or you're getting that question wrong, just move on. Do not stop. And when you're practicing, figure out a pattern. You will notice there will be some questions that every time you find difficult. For example, there are questions which have accept or which one is not true. In my case, these used to be very difficult for me, like which one is not true, and I used to get them wrong. So I figured out, okay, out of this 10 questions, you leave this one, figure out which one wrong or accept one. This is the one where I always fall down. So this is my biggest foe. So what I will do, I figured out that question type, and I went on to YouTube, I went into the books, and I find techniques how to solve this question. And in specifically, I learned a technique how to solve that question. And in the next time, it was much more easier for me to deal with that question. So first was time constraint. You work with your ideal time and then go in reverse. The second is you find your friends and your foes. You figure out which questions are easier for you and which ones are difficult, and you treat them separately. That's how you deal them. The third technique that I'm going to tell you is find the topics which are easier for you and find the ones which are difficult. And what do I mean? So in the reading section, usually in TOEFL, they repeat the same kind of topics. The subjects are usually the same. It's gonna be music, art, history, biology, physics, meteorology, geology, could be business, personal, marketing, or something like that. It's about 8 to 9 things that they keep on repeating. So what happens if you're coming from a background of business? For you, personal marketing or economics would be much more easier. If you're coming from a background of humanities, for you, music, history, anthropology, or Shakespeare writing, literature would be easier. For somebody who's a doctor, dentist, or coming from a science, for him, chemistry, physics, biology would be easier. And I hope pretty much for everybody, meteorology and geology is difficult. So what you do in this scenario? So you figure out that you're good with biology, you're good with sciences, but you're not good with music and anthropology. And every time a topic comes on anthropology or comes on history or comes on meteorology, it takes you a longer time to answer those questions. And once you figure out that topic, you stop everything, you go on Google, you go on YouTube and start reading about meteorology. Like write on Google, TOEFL comprehension on meteorology, TOEFL comprehension on history, and just go through 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And when you go through them, your brain will absorb those words, those vocabulary, those ideas. And for you, all of a sudden, like not all of a sudden, but over time, that topic will become much more easier. So what I'm trying to do is actually, I am telling you techniques how you could figure out your weak side. First of all, you figure out whether it's the time that's your weak side. Second, you figure out is there a specific question that usually rumbles you up or makes difficulty or creates difficulty for you. And the third thing is that you figure out what kind of topics that you are not aware of, or what kind of topic that your brain is not used to of. And that's one of the things that they are seeing in TOEFL, that, okay, you're a doctor, but can you handle economics? Okay, you're a businessman, can you handle chemistry? And that's how they are overthrowing you or pushing you over the board. And the best way to get over it is to read more and expose yourself to more of that content or those kind of topics. So you will be well aware and you won't be surprised. And the last thing I want to tell you, which I've been utilizing in all the exams I've been giving, there are a bunch of exams that I've given in my life. Never go prepared half-heartedly. Do not attempt TOEFL if you're not prepared. I will say wait a month, unless you have some special circumstances where you have to do it. But otherwise, if you have time, wait and prepare. Do not go half-heartedly. Research more, thoroughly look into it and prepare, and then give your exam. Why? Because if you don't score good, you're going to end up in much more disappointment. And this is, I don't think it would be a good thing. You won't be able to try next time. You would be disheartened. You will be disappointed, and there's a high chance you would go into depression. So be aware of that situation. And I would say research and study and prepare hard, and then go for the exam. And through this video, I hope you will score higher than even me. And I genuinely believe that if you try to work hard and if God blesses you, you will get really good scores. So keep working hard, stay positive. And if you have any questions, you can write it in the comment, or you could email me. And all the best. And hopefully we'll see you in a next more meaningful video. Thank you.